A very good evening. You've tuned in to India Today Television. I'm Sneha Mordani and this is 5 Live, and we are going to be putting the focus this evening on the engagement, the betrayal and the murder. Yeah, I'm talking about the case from Pune where a young woman has killed her fiancé. They were all set to get married in the next few weeks or so. He planned her birthday, but she, along with her boyfriend, planned his murder, and this was meticulously done. Focus on that big story that is developing even as this case is unraveling. Our focus as well this evening on the Lucknow death trap and the kind of lapses that have come to the fore as far as the fire in Lucknow city is concerned in a building which was surely a death trap because the people here were simply sitting ducks. The rules were flouted left, right and center, even to the extent that in 2016 there was an order to demolish this building and that was actually revoked. Our focus on that and much more. Our top focus at this hour, well, the police are talking about this crime that was committed in Pune at the Lohagad fort. The police say it was betrayal hidden behind wedding plans, birthday celebrations and declarations of love. In that sense, it wasn't an ordinary murder. A 26-year-old groom-to-be, his fiancé, and the main investigators say he was a secret lover here. 3 lives intertwined in a relationship that police claim ended with a fall, a deadly one, a deliberate one at the Lohagad fort. At the center of the story is 26-year-old Ketan Agarwal, engaged to Sia Goyal in February and preparing for a November wedding. Police say Sia was already in a relationship with 22-year-old Chetan Chaudhary, did not want to go ahead with the marriage. They say the conspiracy wasn't just planned, it was carefully coordinated. Investigators claim Sia and Chetan exchanged more than 2,000 calls and spent nearly 240 hours talking over a period of 6 months. According to the probe, Sia lured Ketan to Lohagad fort while Chetan allegedly took steps to avoid detection, leaving his phone behind, carrying an employee's handset, switching off internet access for hours on the day of this crime. Police say those moves, along with other evidence recovered during questioning, point to a pre-planned conspiracy. And then came the twist that stunned investigators. After Ketan's death, Sia posted an emotional tribute on social media, writing, and I quote, "Why did you leave me when I loved you so much?" unquote. Today, that post is part of the police probe into a case that investigators say is a story not just of a murder. It's a story of love, betrayal, and a murder planned in cold blood. India Today's Omkar Bable decodes a chilling conspiracy.
Just months before his wedding, Ketan Agarwal walked into what police now describe as a deadly trap. A love story that ended in murder at the edge of a fort. Police claim Sia did not want to go ahead with the marriage and wanted to continue her relationship with Chetan Chaudhary and began seeing Ketan as an obstacle. Police allege Sia and Chetan then conspired together to eliminate him. For Ketan's family, the shock is overwhelming.
मुझे एक बार भी नहीं लगा कि सिया ऐसे करेगी, लेकिन उस चीज़ में बहुत सदमे में हूँ। मेरे बेटा चला गया है, बहुत ज़्यादा सदमे में हूँ इसमें।
Both Sia and Chetan have now been arrested and remanded to 7 days of police custody. However, Chetan's lawyer has argued in court that Ketan's death was an accident, not murder.
We strongly opposed the police custody, and considering our arguments, the Honorable Court granted 7 days police custody to both them.
Police meanwhile maintain that the death was the result of a carefully planned conspiracy. Police say the sequence of events unfolded on June 18 at Lohagad Fort. Sia and Ketan arrived at Lohagad Fort together. Chetan reached separately. The three met near the edge of a gorge. Investigators allege Chetan attacked Ketan before he was pushed into a 400 feet gorge. Police say Sia then called authorities, claiming Ketan had slipped and fallen. A key piece of evidence is CCTV footage that allegedly places Chetan at Lohagad fort on the day of the incident. The fort's gatekeeper has told investigators that Chetan entered the premises without purchasing a ticket.
पीछे हमारा गार्ड था, उसको कान में हेडफोन था, उसको आवाज़ दिया था सर टिकट टिकट, वो का रुकाने, फिर हम आगे थे, उसको हम रुकवाए थे कि
वो
सर
टिकट ना लेते आगे चला गया।
हाँ, तो वो नहीं चला, वो मतलब कान में हेडफोन था इसलिए उसको आवाज़ सुनाई नहीं दिया था उसको। फिर आगे हम उसको रुकवाए, हम उसको कि सर आपको आवाज़ देना है, टिकट लेके आ जाओ। तो बोले सर, मैं वो बोला हमको सर हम एक्सरसाइज कर रहे हैं, हम रिटर्न में जाके हम टिकट ले लेंगे। हम
एक्सरसाइज करने के लिए जा रहे
जी, हाँ जी, एक्सरसाइज करने के लिए जा रहे हैं, हम रिटर्न में टिकट ले लेंगे करके बोला था।
A wedding that never happened and a trek that ended in murder. As investigators piece together the final moments of Ketan Agarwal's life, one family continues to wait for answers and justice. With Omkar Wable in Pune, Bureau Report, India Today.
I'm going straight across to Devesh Singh for more details on that story that we're tracking very closely. Devesh, we've had all the details from the police who speak about how this was pre-planned. Clearly, this woman knew what she was doing. She tried it not once, but twice, was unsuccessful, clearly, in the first attempt. You know, give us an idea about what the family members of the woman, Sia, are now saying about this entire case, given that Ketan's family have said that even they are guilty because they knew that she was in love with someone else. Then why force this marriage on her as well?
Well, Sneha, you rightly pointed out that the allegations, the complaint made by Ketan Agarwal's family are that Sia's family already knew about her relationship with Chetan Chaudhary. But despite that, despite knowing her relationship with Chetan Chaudhary, they moved ahead, forced her, or maybe it is assumed that they forced her to get into an engagement with Ketan Agarwal, and they pressurized, or it is assumed, again, it is suspected that she could have been pressurized, and that is why Sia Goyal and Chetan Chaudhary eventually thought that killing Ketan Agarwal could be that could help them continue together into their relationship. But Ketan Agarwal was a hindrance to Sia Goyal and Chetan Chaudhary, and that is why they planned, conspired, and executed this murder. Remember, police has also pointed out that 5 days before the incident, also Sia and Ketan Agarwal were at Lohagad Fort, and then also Sia had attempted to push Ketan Agarwal, but she made an excuse that she'd seen a snake, and that is why she pushed him. But it is suspected that it was not just, it was the first attempt when they wanted to eliminate Ketan Agarwal. They wanted to murder Ketan Agarwal on that day itself, but that day they were not successful. So again, they went back on 18th June, and that day Chetan Chaudhary and Sia Goyal pushed off the cliff, Ketan Agarwal off the cliff into a deep gorge which was 400 feet deep, killing him on the spot.
You know, I also want to ask you, Devesh, talk to us about what the family members of the victim, Ketan Agarwal, are now saying about what really raised their suspicion, because clearly the attempt to push him down the first time was not something that raised a red flag. Also the fact that she, burnt up the passport, didn't want to go on a foreign vacation that was being planned. All of that clearly didn't raise any red flags, isn't it?
Well, Sneha, there were many red flags that had come to the notice of Ketan Agarwal's family members. Ketan Agarwal's sudden death in an accident, that they could not believe that Ketan could just slip and fall off a cliff or fall off a hill where he'd gone for a trek. They suspected that something was not right. Something was amiss in all this, in the sequence of events. While they were going to Bali, suddenly Sia lost her passport. So all the 20 members had to abandon their trip, had to cancel their trip to Bali. Again, there were meetings that were held between Sia, Ketan, and other family members. So there were many such incidents that had come to, that raised suspicions in the minds of Ketan Agarwal's family members, and that is why they requested police to dig deeper. They requested police to investigate. the SP of Pune Rural, Sandeep Singh Gill, along with his team of investigators, then started going through phone records, going through other details, and when they were investigating, even before the murder came to light, even before it came to light that it was a case of murder and not an accident, police had started going through details that they had received from Ketan Agarwal's family members and also the details of Sia Goyal's phone. They had found out that Sia Goyal was in a relationship with one Ketan Chaudhary, and these were the points that further led the investigators to interrogate and question Sia Goyal and Chetan Chaudhary, who eventually confessed to the murder.
Devesh, I'm going to leave it there for the moment, but this really gives us an opportunity to also reflect on the kind of a person that she really was, because she actually went on to post all kinds of things indicating that perhaps she was in deep grief. But really now, when all this information has come to the fore and this case is unraveled, it shows the mindset really of this person who planned the murder of her fiancé while he planned her birthday party. Really, it's upsetting to say the least. I'm going to thank you and leave it at that for the moment, Devesh, with those details. From a honeymoon that ended in murder to a fiancé allegedly pushed into a gorge days before the wedding. A disturbing pattern is emerging across the country. Cases from Meghalaya, Meerut, Delhi and now Pune are raising troubling questions about relationships turning into deadly conspiracies. Our next report looks at the chilling trail of betrayal, deception and violence behind some of India's most shocking relationship murders.
Love, trust, marriage, relationships built on promises. But across India, a chilling pattern is emerging, where relationships are ending not with separation, but with murder. A honeymoon that became a murder scene. A husband poisoned and chopped into pieces. Body parts stored in a blue drum. A live-in partner dismembered and dumped across a city. And now, a fiancé allegedly pushed into a 400-foot gorge days before his wedding. But Pune is not an isolated case. Just months ago, the nation was gripped by the Meghalaya honeymoon murder. Raja Raghuvanshi had barely begun married life when he was found hacked to death near a gorge during a honeymoon trip. Police allege that his wife Sonam Raghuvanshi conspired with hired killers to eliminate him. A honeymoon became a crime scene, and a wife became the prime accused. In Meerut, another case sent shockwaves across the country. Saurav Rajput had returned from London to surprise his wife. Police say Muskan Rastogi and her lover first poisoned him, then murdered him. Investigators allege his body was dismembered, sealed inside a cement-filled drum, and hidden in an attempt to destroy evidence. Even after his death, messages were allegedly sent from his phone to mislead family members. And then there was the Shraddha Walkar case. A crime so gruesome that it horrified the nation. Police alleged that after strangling Shraddha, her live-in partner, Aftab Poonawala, cut her body into dozens of pieces, stored them in a refrigerator, and disposed them off over several weeks across Delhi. The murder remained hidden for months before investigators finally uncovered the truth. Different cities, different relationships, different victims. But a chillingly similar trait of betrayal, deception, and calculated violence. From honeymoon trips to wedding plans. From promises of love to allegations of murder. India is witnessing a disturbing pattern where relationships are no longer just breaking down. They are ending in bloodshed. A relationship can end. A marriage can be called off. A breakup can happen. But increasingly, investigators are confronting cases where love gives way to betrayal. And betrayal ends in gruesome murders. Bureau Report, India Today.
Shifting focus now, let's take you straight to Lucknow city, where we're getting in details of how there were lapses and loopholes that eventually led to the murder, criminal death of 15 students. A building filled with students, a fire that spread just within minutes. Investigators now say the warning signs were there all along. What happened in Lucknow was not just a tragedy, it may have been a disaster waiting to happen. Investigators say the Aliganj building was riddled with safety lapses. The structure had no emergency exit, leaving students and staff with just one way in, one way out. Authorities say there was no valid fire NOC in place. It's a strict violation of the building codes. Unsafe electrical wiring was reported from inside the building. Improperly installed AC units are also now under scrutiny as possible contributors to the place. Most importantly, investigators believe multiple fire safety norms were ignored in spite of the risks. When the fire broke out, the building quickly turned into a death trap. Officials say there was only a single entry, an exit point, and no alternative escape route. The building lacked a proper smoke exhaust system, causing thick smoke to engulf the premises within minutes. Investigators also believe many of the victims died due to suffocation before rescuers could even reach them, and not so much of burn injuries. As grief grips families, a fierce political battle has erupted with the opposition, and rightly so, pointing fingers at the government, saying that safety norms were ignored and the administration looked the other way. They've demanded a probe into approvals and no objection certificates issued under the current government. The BJP has hit back, accusing the Samajwadi Party of politicizing the tragedy and claiming the building itself is a legacy of alleged irregularities during the previous regime, the Samajwadi Party's regime. But beyond the political blame game, one question continues to haunt Lucknow. Who allowed such a building to keep functioning until disaster struck? The tragedy has now put years of approvals and decisions under the spotlight. Records show the building was cleared as a residential structure in 2014. Satellite images indicate the plot remained vacant till December 2015. Construction then began. It was completed by 2016. That same year, authorities registered a case of illegal construction. A demolition order was issued in the month of May 2016, 10 years ago. But just weeks later, in July 2016, that demolition order was revoked. Investigators are examining how the building continued to operate in spite of repeated red flags, and whether alleged violations were overlooked until tragedy struck. Action seems to be gathering pace, but just now, isn't it too little too late is the big question here. The Lucknow Development Authority has issued a fresh demolition notice. Building owners have been given 15 days to respond. Authorities say commercial activities were allegedly being carried out in spite of residential approval for the building, not commercial. And if this explanation is found unsatisfactory, the building that became a symbol of tragedy could soon face demolition. As families mourn their loved ones and demand accountability, the blame game has begun. Here's more on the political showdown.
ये जो घटनाएं जिम्मेदारी बड़े अधिकारियों की बनती है, और बड़े अधिकारियों क्यों बचा रहे हैं? देखिए, बड़े अधिकारी बड़े होशियार होते हैं, वो सीधे घटना में मुख्यमंत्री जी को ले आए। अब मुख्यमंत्री जी फेस बन गए। जिन अधिकारियों की वजह से ये घटना हुई, वो मुख्यमंत्री जी को सामने आगे कर दिए। अब मुख्यमंत्री जी को जवाब देना पड़ेगा। कम से कम मुख्यमंत्री जी को ये तो होशियारी अधिकारियों की समझनी चाहिए।
लखनऊ की दुर्घटना है, आपके कांडे बहुत ही दुखद है। 15 लोगों की जाने के लिए, और आप राजनीति कर रहे हैं। ये आप जानते हैं, ये आपकी सरकार का ही भ्रष्टाचार का नमूना था। ये बिल्डिंग, ये 16 में प्लाट आवंटित हुआ और इस अवैध बिल्डिंग का निर्माण आप ही की सरकार में हुआ है। आपने ही सील करके सील खोलने का काम किया है। आपकी भ्रष्टाचार की जड़ें इतनी गहरी है, उसको अभी तक हम सबको झेलना पड़ रहा है। ये बच्चे जो काल कलवित हुए हैं, ये आप ही की सरकार के कुकृत्यों का नमूना है। कृपया आप राजनीति न करें। पूरी प्रतिबद्धता के साथ हमारी सरकार कड़ी से कड़ी कार्रवाई करेगी।
I'm going straight across to Ashish Srivastava for the very latest on that story as far as the probe in this entire matter is concerned. Ashish, there have been arrests today. I understand the fire department also carried out these inspection sort of drives that were seen across Lucknow city. But, you know, the fact is that not one person or one department, but several are behind this disaster, isn't it? Tell us, what has the probe found so far?
Yeah, absolutely, which we can understand in the fire incident where the many people are involved, and this is what the investigation is going on. One of thing we can understand that the SIT also have been formed in this case, and they are just investigating this matter. Such of the many people who have been died in this whole incident and who are responsible. This will be checked by the authorities. Because of an electricity department who have given an electricity connection, it was also issue that how he has been provided a 22 kilowatt connection, which was required there 33 kilowatt. So it was the reason that this kind of situation has occurred inside. And second, the authority where this property, which was a residential property and converted into the in commercial property. So what was the reason behind this, that how many people are involved in this whole scene, which we can understand that the Lucknow Development Authorities officer, fire department officers, even those people who have provided the electricity connection, all those people are involved in this. SIT is investigating the whole matter, and they are just getting the information, and the report will be submitted to the government soon. But the factually is that how the people who have been just lost their lives in this whole scenario, the families who are just paining at this time and just demanding a justice, because they just want to know that what was their mistake, what was the reason how this fire has expanded in this structure, in this building, which we are looking from here. So it was the reason that many people are involved in this. Even the 4 people who have been arrested, like the owner of this house, who have residents who have been also arrested now, and the another who is the CEO of this company which was running here, animation company, who has been already arrested, but who all are involved in this. This is what the SIT is investigating those, and just connecting the member and the people who all are involved in this whole scenario. And this is what everyone who is under the scanning, that what is going to be done now after the SIT report will be submitted. So the action will be taken soon, just because of Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has given assurance to the families who have been injured, who have been lost their lives, that the action will be taken. Even the Lucknow Development Authority also have served the notice to bulldoze this building. Even so, this kind of. But
yes, the questions really remain, Ashish, as to how this continued for so many years. In fact, 10 years at a stretch. It's unimaginable that this building actually had a demolition order, but that was revoked. There's several lapses, not one, raising many questions on how authorities also are hand in glove with people who allow activities of this kind. It's led to the death of 15 people here. You're shifting focus at this point in time. Let's take a look at these developments. And this is an update as far as the Kolkata shed collapse is concerned. This tragic news coming in. 3 people have died. The Bengal Chief Minister, Shubhendu Adhikari, has taken stock of this incident. 21 people rescued. 18 people still feared to be trapped under the debris there. The NDRF, the SDRF at the spot. Rescue operations are underway. An under-construction factory shed building had earlier collapsed in Kolkata. Rescue operations have been in fact underway for a couple of hours. Listening to what the Chief Minister has now said.
একদম এনডিআরএফ আর্মি স্টেট ডিজাস্টার পুলিশ ফায়ার কেএমসি অল টুগেদার ওয়ার্কিং ভেরি গুড এখন অবধি 21টা রিকভারি হয়েছে 3টে ডেথ 18 অ্যালাইভ এসএসকেএম ইজ ওয়ার্কিং অল মিনিস্টার্স আর লুকিং অল অ্যাডমিনিস্ট্রেশন আর লুকিং এনডিআরএফ আর্মি আর ডুইং ভেরি স্যাটিসফ্যাক্টরি ম্যানার এখনো 12-18 জন ভিতরে আছে কন্টাক্ট হয়ে গেছে আর্মি এনডিআরএফ এর সঙ্গে
Anirban getting in more details in that story, and he's from the site where this accident has taken place. Another day, Anirban, another disaster really in the country. I understand 3 people have died. The Chief Minister has said that 18 people have been are still under the debris. What about the people who are rescued, and what are the authorities indicating right now?
Well, see, as per Shubhendu Adhikari, the CM who has visited this place a few minutes back, he said that already 18 people, 16 to 18 people were inside now. They will be recovered from the debris, as well as what we have learned from the hospital itself, that 19 people has been admitted there as well. And as far the total figure is concerned, that has not been told totally by the government side or the administration side. But right now the rescue operation is going on, and the full team, the central team of the Defence Eastern Command is also helping the state government as well as the NDRF and the Kolkata Police and Fire Brigade as well. And we can see that I have joined by the few of the eyewitnesses, those who were there during the rescue, during the incident. भाई ये बताइए कि क्या हुआ था जब इंसिडेंट घटी थी, तब आप लोग अंदर गए थे, कैसे क्या हुआ आप बताइए।
पास में ही काम करते हैं, बस 12:35 या 12:30 का समय होगा, धड़ाम करके बहुत जोर से आवाज आया, तो हम लोग को लगा भूकंप वगैरह आया। हम लोग जब बाहर आए तो अंडर कंस्ट्रक्शन साइट लगभग 6-7 महीना पहले से चल रहा है, तो हम लोग अंदर गए, भागे भागे गए, तो अंदर से लोगों की आवाज आ रही थी कि पानी बचाओ 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 करके आवाज आ रही थी। फिर पीछे की तरफ से कुछ मलबा में जो लोग बाहर थे उनको घसीट के लोकल के कुछ लोग निकाले, तो उन्होंने कहा कि मेरे भाई बड़े पापा बहुत लोग अंदर में हैं, और कहा जा रहा है कि 2 तल्ला पे मैक्सिमम कम से कम ज्यादा काम 2 तल्ला पे ही हो रहा था। इसमें 20 से 25 लोग अभी भी होंगे। जो लोग नीचे थे उनको निकाला गया है, लेकिन बीच में जो भी लोग थे उनका अभी कोई अता पता नहीं है। और यहाँ मोटा मोटी पर डे 40 से 50 आदमी काम करते थे।
Well, so what we have learned from the eyewitnesses itself, that they are saying that 40 to 50 people were working inside, and a few people are there in the second floor as well. So right now the exact figure has not been given by the government or by the administration. We are waiting for it, but the rescue operation is going on swiftly, and we hope that less number of casualties and the people were being recovered, and they will be recovered in the hospital as soon as possible. Over to you.
Anirban, thanking you for the moment, getting in those details at this point in time. Of course, detailed investigations would give us an idea about what really happened there. 3 lives have been lost. There are other people also trapped under the debris, with rescue teams, NDRF, STRF on the spot. A shocking murder on board Mumbai's Lifeline has left commuters shaken. A 22-year-old man, Mayank Lohar, was stabbed to death inside a crowded local train after what police say began as an argument over closing the coach door during heavy rain. The chilling visuals tell the story. It's on your screens at this point in time. Accused is seen inside the compartment moments after the attack, the knife still in hand, while the injured Mayank lies bleeding on the floor. Stunned passengers look on. The attack took place between Andheri and Borivali stations. Police say the accused jumped off at the Borivali station and fled before he could get caught. CCTV footage has now been secured. Accused has been nabbed from Kurla, is what we know.
इसके पहले की एक घटना घटी थी जिसमें इस तरह की घटना 3-4 महीने पहले हुई थी, तो उसमें जो कल्प्रिट है उसको विद इन अ वेरी शॉर्ट स्पैन ऑफ टाइम पकड़ लिया गया था। सिमिलरली हम जो करंट ये घटना घटी है उसकी कल्प्रिट को भी जीआरपी के साथ मिल के पकड़ने की पूरी कोशिश जारी है, और हमें पूरा भरोसा है कि इस पर फर्दर जो है जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन है वो अपने जो फाइनल कंक्लूजन तक पहुँचेगा।
All right, staying with news from Mumbai city, let's tell you about the torrential rains that have triggered widespread flooding, traffic disruptions and rail delays across the city. Intense overnight rainfall caused severe waterlogging in several parts of Mumbai and the Mumbai metropolitan region, disrupting traffic and daily activities. Areas such as King's Circle, Matunga and Dadar have witnessed flooded roads and slow-moving vehicles. Mumbai received over 300 mm of rainfall within 24 hours. The Indian Met Department has issued a red alert later downgrading it to an orange one, while forecasting continued moderate to intense rainfall. Heavy showers led to multiple tree collapse incidents across the city, including a major tree falling on a car in Dadar. Authorities are assessing the damage. Details regarding the injuries remain unavailable. Low-lying areas in Vasai Virar, including Nalasapora, Virar and Vasai, face severe waterlogging affecting commuters and school children. High tides recorded in the morning and expected in the evening further heightened flooding risks. Water accumulation on suburban railway tracks caused delays and overcrowding on Mumbai's local train network, the city's lifeline. This was especially seen on the central railway routes. Although train services continued, commuters faced extended travel times. And we're reporting on news just coming in at this point in time has got to do with the Prime Minister. What we hear is that days after the successful NEET re-examination that was seen in the country, the Prime Minister praised his ministers in the cabinet meeting earlier, noting that they made a collective effort to ensure the NEET re-examination was conducted smoothly and without any issues. The Prime Minister remarked that a whole-of-government approach was evident throughout this entire process. He's advised that the same model should be adopted for every occasion. Well, in the meeting today, the Prime Minister told his cabinet members that if everyone works together, any challenge can be faced and overcome. I'm going straight to Himanshu Mishra for more details on that story. Himanshu, प्रधानमंत्री जो री-एग्जाम हुआ है उससे खुश है, जो एफर्ट्स है इनसे खुश है और इस बात की उन्होंने मंत्रियों की आज मीटिंग में, कैबिनेट मीटिंग में तारीफ भी की है।
देखिए, उन्होंने जो है जिस तरीके से नीट को लेकर एक माहौल बना हुआ था पेपर लीक के बाद, उसके बाद उन्होंने कैबिनेट के अंदर प्रेज किया और उन्होंने कहा कि नीट का जो री एग्जाम है वो बिना किसी परेशानी के जो है वो हम सबके होल एफर्ट से जो है वो हो पाया। और प्रधानमंत्री ने ये भी कहा कि इससे जो है उनकी गवर्नमेंट का जो दृष्टिकोण है वो नजर आता है। और उन्होंने कहा जब भी इस तरीके की कोई चुनौती का अवसर आए तो हम सबको मिलकर काम करना चाहिए, इससे ये एक सबक जरूर मिलता है। उन्होंने ये भी कहा कि आगे से यदि हम सब मिलकर काम करें और किसी चुनौती का सामना किया जा सकता है तो उसे पार भी किया जा सकता है। यानी कोई चुनौती हो और सब मिलकर एक साथ काम करेंगे तो किसी भी चुनौती, किसी भी तरीके की जो चुनौती है उससे पार पाया जा सकता है। तो एक तरीके से प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने जो है री एग्जाम जो है नीट का उसको सफल हुआ है उसको लेकर प्रेज भी किया और उन्होंने कहा ये एफर्ट्स पूरी गवर्नमेंट का है, पूरे सभी सरकार के उन मंत्रालयों का है जिन्होंने एक साथ मिलकर इस पे काम किया, चाहे वो डिफेंस हो, होम मिनिस्ट्री हो, हेल्थ मिनिस्ट्री हो, एजुकेशन मिनिस्ट्री हो। तो इससे जो है वो एक तरीके से साफ क्लियर मैसेज है कि सब मिलकर काम करेंगे तो आप किसी भी चुनौती का सामना कर सकते हैं और उस पर सफलता पा सकते हैं।
Himanshu Mishra with the very latest in that story. Shukriya हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए। Himanshu talking to us about the Prime Minister, lauding the ministers and speaking about the whole of government approach and the effort of the government in ensuring the re-examination, successful NEET re-examination. Millions of Indians take medicines every day without a second thought. A pill for an infection, a tablet for pain, a cream for skin. But what if some of those medicine combinations that experts believe never should have been sold together in the first place? In a major regulatory crackdown, the centre has banned 16 fixed-dose drug combinations, saying the risks outweigh the benefits. Let's break it down for you. The government says an expert committee and the Drugs Technical Advisory Board reviewed these medicines and found no clear therapeutic justification for the combinations. In simple terms, experts were not convinced that these medicines, while combining them in the combined form, delivered any meaningful additional medical benefit. In several cases, the combinations were described as irrational, with regulators concluding that potential risks outweighed the advantages. And this is the key distinction here. The government has not banned the individual medicines. What has been banned are specific combinations of medicines sold together in a single formulation. Doctors can still prescribe many of these ingredients separately if medically required. Common medicines remain available. The target is not the drug themselves, but combinations that regulators believe lacked sufficient scientific backing. According to the review done, some combinations offered little or no proven additional benefit. Experts also flagged concerns about unnecessary side effects, inappropriate use, and the possibility of exposing patients to extra risks without improving treatment outcomes. The fundamental question regulators asked was simple. Does combining these medicines actually help patients more? In these cases, the answer was not clear enough. The ban covers a range of categories of combinations. This includes certain antibiotic combinations, pain and stomach cramp medicines, some diabetes formulations as well, skin treatments, and cosmetic drug products. Several widely marketed fixed-dose combinations have now been removed from the market pending compliance with the government's order. Perhaps the easiest way to understand the decision is through the aloe vera example. Let's tell you about that. The government has not banned aloe vera, nor has it banned vitamin E, jojoba oil, or tea tree oil. What regulators are questioning was whether combining all these ingredients into a single medicinal or cosmetic product actually produce a better clinical outcome. Experts found insufficient evidence to support some of these combinations, leading to their inclusion in the ban list. For consumers, the immediate message is don't panic. Paracetamol has not been banned. Amoxicillin has not been banned. Diabetes medicines are also available. What has changed is that certain fixed-dose combinations are no longer permitted. Doctors and pharmacists will be guiding patients on suitable alternatives wherever necessary. The broader message from regulators is clear. Medicines sold in India must be backed by evidence, and the combinations must prove they offer more benefit than risk before they reach the patients.